I discovered how to turn any TikTok into a fully branded Instagram carousel in under 2 minutes, and it's already helped me grow my audience to 15,000 followers across channels. I've been using this exact workflow for the last few months, and it's now creating 5 to 10 carousels a week from my TikToks while I literally do nothing. In this video, I'm going to give you the full N8N and Blotato workflow so you can do this for your brand. All right, let's get into it. All right, so when you jump into N8N, you're just going to hit import from file, upload this TikTok to carousel agent template, hit open, and then it will populate like this. So here you submit a TikTok URL, it extracts the information, gets the TikTok page, downloads the video, does all this in the code node, which you don't need to touch, transcribes the video, and then over here is where the magic happens. So this is our AI agent. And so the prompt is all set up here. It's just using this real transcript that it pulls from the previous node. And then over here, you will just need to update your system prompt. So we want to keep all of this the same because this is just saying like you need to use this real transcript, extract the key insights and memorable moments, and create an Instagram carousel. Now, you will want to change the context here because this is set up for me. This can all say the same, but you will also need to change this. Do not ask if Brooke created the content because this is aligned to my brand. And what you can do is just grab this whole system prompt, chuck it into Claude or ChatGPT, and just say, we need to update this for my brand. Please keep all of the key information for the agent the same, but work on the brand voice, etc. And then you'll just paste that into here. And then I've connected an Anthropic chat model here. You could use ChatGPT or whatever. And so what you need to do is if you want to use Anthropic, you just come down here and you're going to create a new credential. And you will just need to grab your API key. And if we just go API Anthropic, you'll sign in here and then down here, API keys, and you'll just hit create key and then grab that key and paste it back in here and then hit save. And then you can rename this whatever you want, but this is just like Anthropic 2. I won't save that. Also to note here, you can see how cheap the token costs are. It really doesn't cost that much to the API for Claude. And if you want to change that to something else, you would just delete this and then hit chat model. And then there's all these different AI that you can choose from. But for the purpose of this, and I find that Anthropic's writing is much better, I'm keeping it with that. And then once you've signed in, you just hit here and then pick what model you want. So let's go Claude Sonnet 4.6. This is actually a more expensive model. So you could do Haiku, which is what it was set on before, or even Sonnet 4.5. Opus is amazing, but it costs a lot more and it's unnecessary for this. We've already got the content in the transcript. All right, now jumping over here, some of the templates that are in Blotato. And so these are tutorial cards. So if we jump back into Blotato, the first thing I want you to do is grab your API key. So you'll need to jump over here. And if you haven't set up an API key before, you will need, this will say like grab API key or set up API key. This is only available for paid plans, PS. And then you'll just copy that. And then same thing, to set up your credentials, you'll just paste your API key in here and hit save. Now, you will also, if this is your first time using Blotato, you'll also need to set up your socials. And it's super easy to do. You just come down here and pick the ones that you want to connect and log in. And so you can see here, these are all the ones that I have set. And then these copy account IDs. So if we just jump over to the actual workflow, so here's where it makes the carousel, and then here's where it posts out. So if we jump into LinkedIn here, so again, we've got our Blotato account selected here. That's our credential. And again, you won't need to change these. These are all set up. So it's post, create, and then platform. So here, there's a list of all the platforms you can connect to. And so I will hit LinkedIn here. And so because I have my LinkedIn set up in Blotato over here, it will drop down here. So there's my page. And so that will now post out to LinkedIn. Again, you don't need to change any of this. This has all been set up. The one thing I will say is this schedule next free slot. So what that means is if we go into calendar over here, scheduled posts that I have coming up. And in Blotato, you can pick schedules. And so what that is, it's just like slots that you can post stuff out to. So you could have this set up in N8N, and if that isn't ticked on, it will just schedule it out as soon as this carousel is made, which is fine. But if you are creating a lot of content like I am, just hit schedule next free slot. And then over in Blotato, you can add slots. So you could pick like Sunday, you could pick every day, really. Pick a time. And then you can choose which accounts you want this like to hit. And then what that will do is populate here. So you can see I've got these slots available for Twitter, like 7, 11, 12:23, 12:45, etc., etc. And so when these carousels are made and we hit schedule next free slot, that will just like fit into one of these slots so that like all of that content isn't going out at once. So I've got here LinkedIn, TikTok, I've got Facebook deactivated. If you want to reactivate one, just hit the little on button, and then over here, I just need to select my Facebook page, which is Wright Mode from the list. And then over here, you can see instead of it having next free slot, I've actually put plus 4 hours. So I want this pushed out like 4 hours from now. So if you want to change that, this is just JSON. So you could change that to whatever hour, if you want 8 hours between your post and this, just change that to 8, whatever you want. Or to keep it simple, you can just have schedule next free slot. All right. So jumping back in here now to the AI agent. So this is going to create a tutorial carousel with monocolor backgrounds. But what you will need to do is put in your profile image here, and it just needs to be a publicly accessible link. So for me, what has worked is grabbing one of my images that are available on my website. And then I've picked this type of font. So there's a whole bunch of fonts that you can choose from. The hashtags are like auto-generated. So just leave that as well. And same with this will auto-generate. What I want you to change is your background color. That's my green branding color. The content slides will come directly from the agent, so you don't need to touch this. You will want to put these as your brand colors as well. You want to change the author name, your company name, and then the greeting and the CTA. So I will show you what this looks like now. So let's run the whole thing through. All right, let's do this one. So I'm just going to hit publish on this now. So whenever you want your workflow to go live, you just jump up here and hit publish. In your OpenAI account, same thing. You just want to create a new credential. You'll grab the OpenAI API. And to do that, we go OpenAI. Here, log in. So this is different to ChatGPT, but it is linked to your ChatGPT account. And then you'll just jump down here to API keys, create new secret, just name it something like N8N, default project, and then create secret key. And then you'll jump back in here, hit credential, and then paste in your API key there. And that's it. Now, if we hit this is our form link. So you can just bookmark this, and then we'll grab this link from my TikTok, run it here. And so if you want to set this up, you could delete these. Like if this is just for you with your own TikToks, you could delete these fields, like your name, your display name for the carousel, and just use the template I've got. So let's go Brooke, Wright Mode. And then any brand voice notes you want, you can pop in there, and then we'll just hit submit. And then if we jump back over into this workflow, we can see now here it's running. And so this will go and do its thing and then make a branded carousel for us. And while that's doing its thing, I will show you in Blotato the other templates. So these are all, it's going to render this. Okay, so here is the carousel that it's just made from that co-work video. And if you want to, you can just jump directly into Blotato and create your own from these templates. You can also jump in here and set up your brand kit. So brand name, website, all of this, drop your images here, and it will pull from your brand kit, which is like so powerful. And there's this new feature where you can just create it all with an AI agent. So I use this. I didn't have my brand kit set up, so I pasted all of this in here, but if you just set that up, it will pull from it. And I just said like, write this like short video on how I broke up with ChatGPT. And then these are just all images from my website that are publicly available. And then it just did its thing, and we can have a look at this here. So this is like awesome and just makes content creation so much easier. So you have two options now. You can use the N8N workflow, or you can just go directly in Blotato. If you watch this whole thing, you're clearly serious about implementing AI in your business. So in the Wright Mode membership, you get access to a community of incredible women doing exactly this. Plus, I'm in there every day helping you troubleshoot, giving you ideas, and this template is included in the classroom. The link to the membership is in the description below, and I will see you on the next video.